Don't ignore the signs. Life is full of messages and signs, guiding us on our journey. Let's stay alert and embrace the wisdom they offer. Every sign, big or small, is a piece of the puzzle in understanding our path.
Don't ignore the signs. This one is really big. I am your host, Kazerny Bussy.
And I am your co-host, Empress Layla.
Yeah, man. The signs, they like, I don't know, I guess they like the key to life, ain't they?
You know, when you brought up this subject, ask myself, where is the person at when we ask that question? Because that question can go in so many ways.
Yeah.
By me saying that is like, are we emotionally thinking? Are we spiritually thinking? Are we logically thinking? We ask that question because it goes into so many, I would say, aspects of life, if that's the proper way of saying it, because I think I'm more of an emotional thinker, and sometimes I have to step outside the situation to think. So not ignoring signs can come into many different avenues. Are we being emotional when we ignoring the signs? Are we being spiritual when we ignoring the signs? Or are we simply experiencing the signs? I don't know.
Well, I guess we would have to actually define what a sign is, right? Like, what is a sign?
What is a sign for you?
Well, a sign for me is something that, guides me, leads me, on the path of my journey. It gives me a kind of guideline of, the direction, and not only direction, but, just ways to keep myself on the right track and out of danger. When I think of signs in the street, the stop sign is there to direct traffic, and if you ignore that sign, it could be a real bad situation, if, just depending on how the traffic is moving at that time.
What if you can't read the sign? It's a new environment, and you see the sign, but you don't comprehend it. Certain signs are visual. Certain signs you have to be able to comprehend and read it. If it's slippery and sliding, it'll look zigzag. Even though you don't speak the language, it's danger. So if you don't speak the language, how do you know you on a good road or if you're on a bad road? I'm just saying, for someone that can't read or that doesn't understand the dialect or the language, how do we go about it then?
Well, I would say, as far as, passing that sign and getting into that situation, because obviously, the signs are there to direct us, like I said. So, if we don't really have understanding or comprehension of the actual sign, then we would find ourselves in the situation. And
But we didn't want to get ourselves in that situation. We just didn't see the warning sign. So what happens then?
but I guess the sign is there to direct us. So if we
But we didn't
ignore the sign,
understand the sign.
if we ignore the sign and we get in that situation,
We didn't ignore it. We just didn't understand it.
We could say that maybe how to learn a sign. Maybe it puts us in a direction of wisdom and understanding, because nobody knows the first time. So if we see a stop sign, I'm gonna use the stop sign because it's the most common sign, on the road. If you don't stop when that stop sign comes, and then that car fly past you, on that, the parallel side of that street, then it'll make you think the next time before you just make that move. And I think that's how we begin to actually learn the signs. We actually have the experiences along the way. And without the experience, we wouldn't even be able to know the signs exist. So it is made, I think, for us to, open our minds and really grasp the importance of the sign, whether we, understand it at the time or not, just to get us to open up, to the fact that the signs really has a positioning and a meaning to beat it. And I think that's the first state of awareness,
I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm happy you stopped where you did, because I'm gonna bring up example with having your first experience as a driver. I won't say 50, 80, or 90%, but I would say 70% of people that fail their first driving test is because they did not stop at a full stop. Talking about signs. That full stop, when you're taking a driving test, is adamant, saying if you don't abide to it, that's an automatic fail. Just not putting on your seatbelt. Full stop, you have to stop for a moment, count to about 10 seconds, and then proceed to make sure the area is clear before you go. That's the rules of driving. So since you brought up the concept of stopping, a lot of people fail their first driving test either from not obeying the stopping sign, stopping for a few seconds and then proceeding, or parallel parking.
And so the sign shows that it's rules to this thing.
There's rules to everything. There's no way around it.
Right.
Do we all follow it is a different question.
Do we all follow the rules?
Do we think we can go around the rules? Because I remember all the greats say, until you learn the lesson, you will repeat it. There's no way around it.
I mean, sometimes repeating could be a good thing, right? It gets us...
If you don't learn it.
It gives us the opportunity to come back bigger and stronger the next time.
Yeah, but like you just said, don't ignore the signs. If it's a full stop, know to stop. Why do you want to repeat that? You said don't ignore the signs. So if you see a full stop, know to stop.
And so we already got to the point of realizing that
Certain thing is there for us. Yes.
Certain times people didn't even know the signs existed, or like you said, they didn't know how to comprehend or read the sign, right? So now that we got this awareness, comprehension, that the signs do mean something, it puts us in position to
be aware.
Yeah, to take this thing more seriously, right?
Yes. And once we see it, we have to accept it for what it is.
To be more focused.
And accept it.
And accept it when it presents itself.
Absolutely. Right? That's why we would say don't ignore the signs. Because when it presents itself, we can't say what it is not what it's not. Because it's there to present itself. So when we came up with this topic today, I was like, is this a message for me? Or are we talking to the people? Because this is part of our everyday life, right?
The signs.
The signs, like you said. Like, when you was like, what do you think about don't ignore the signs? And I was like, wow, this is a big one. And I've been pondering upon it all day. And here we are right now. And I'm like, wow. Like, the signs are what, when we are in the signs, are we being emotional? Are we, because sometimes we're emotional and we let our emotions take over the experience. How do we define emotion and direction?
Well, I think the signs is a lot more focus. It's a lot more, like you said, awareness. So when the leaves start falling off the trees, that could be a big sign of the fall time coming, right? When you see the leaves start to get brown and they start falling off the trees and all that means that the seasons is actually changing.
That doesn't mean the tree's not fruitful. So how do we know when we are not obeying the signs? Like we're somewhere where it's not good for us, or we got to be able to identify the good and the bad. Yeah, everything has to prune itself. Even we shed, we lose hair, we lose skin, we lose nails, we lose friends, we lose family. Every season is a season, right? But how do we know when it's when it's pure?
I mean, I guess when the winter comes, we know to prepare for it. We got to switch the wardrobes. A lot of time people, fix the things they eat. The way they move. Period. Because you got to move different in different seasons. You can't move around in winter like the summertime. So.
What if we're not equipped for the season?
The signs of the leaves falling. When we start to see them signs, then we know to prepare for this thing that is on its way.
What if we're in the season and we're not equipped for it, but we still have to conquer it?
I mean, I think that when things present itself, that we definitely have, all the tools and everything to handle it. I read something out the good book that says that nothing will never come upon us too much for us to bear or handle. So, I think that we are definitely equipped to handle any season, But it's just, are we seasoned to handle the seasons? And I think that comes with experience and just knowing the signs, Because, you hear the older folks tell us little things in the past, like use discernment and follow your gut, right? Because they've been there, done that. So they probably saw the process of the leaves fall, time after time after time. So they basically know that these things.
So you saying your gut never failed you?
I'm not saying that the gut don't fail. I'm saying that the gut does. The gut does. It does. I can't say speak, but the gut does give it signs. I mean, to ignore that natural instinct, right? That would mean that you don't really have that level of awareness. So if you feel something in your gut that says, oh, this is not the place I should be headed to right now. It just don't feel like this is it. Then should you listen to that sign? Or should you listen to your gut? Or should you just ignore it and go to that place that clearly something told you it wasn't the place for you to be?
Do you ever have experiences where your gut is telling you where you need to be?
I definitely have experiences where my gut tells me that something is not right. Yes, I do.
And what do you do about it?
Well, before I learned to follow the signs, I kind of faced the situation and I went against my gut, which I think a lot of us, go against our gut at times, just because, we courageous, we're brave, we're explorers, right? We're cautious people. Human race is people that loves to explore. So sometimes when the gut says no, we tend to do the absolute opposite because, sometimes we want to feel the fire burn to really, truly learn and believe that it burns and it's hot. Because, sometimes signs will let you know, you just stay away from the fire, you don't have to go that route. We like, well, how would I know until I try? Right?
I absolutely believe in trying. I believe in, I wouldn't say at least I tried. Even if I fail, I wouldn't say at least I tried. There's no failing in trying. I want to say that. I'm not saying doing it multiple times, but I definitely feel like trying maybe once or twice is not failing. If you believe in something, you definitely gotta try. So,
yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with, failing.
No, failing is a great thing.
I think
it's only how you look at it. Like,
it could be our greatest teacher at times.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. You gotta fail to get better sometimes. unfortunately, there's no other way to go around it, But yeah, that's an awesome thing. It's all in how you look at it.
Well, I tell you this, man. I had this one situation, and it was it was weird because I don't know. I was young, and I was living out in Prospect Place out in Brooklyn, and it was kind of rough. So this was back in the days. So it was gunshots going off in the hood in these days, right? But for some odd reason, I don't know why, I was on my bike. I parked my bike in a building and went towards the gunshots. And my mom, she came out the building looking for me because, she heard them from upstairs, the gunshots. And she saw my bike parked real neatly. And then she comes to find me, and I'm on the corner. And everybody is running from the gunshot, but I'm kind of walking towards it to see what was going on. And I don't know if that was me ignoring the signs of, bro, they shooting, that's danger, go the other way. Or that was me just
being protected as you are.
But I wasn't really protecting nobody. I just, I was young. I think I was young and dumb at that time. You don't go towards no gunshots, especially.
So you wanted to see what was going on?
I guess that's what it was. When I think about it, I really don't know why. But maybe I was just young and I wasn't aware at the time. I didn't have the common sense to go the opposite way from the gunshots. Maybe I thought it was like the games I played, When people get shot, they died, and they come back. I don't know what I thought it was, But I know these days I won't ignore that sign. Why go towards the fire if you don't got a meal to prepare on it, You trying to make no marshmallows, no s'mores or nothing. So why do you put your hand in that fire? That fire is a sign, to go the other way. Because if you put your hand in fire, it could consume you. It could turn you to ashes, right?
What if you're living there for a long time? You could have third-degree burn, or you could just be lightly burned. It all depends on the situation.
It burns for a reason.
There's different stages of burning.
In what stage would you like to get burned on?
I don't want to get burned at all. I love my skin.
I don't even want my food burned.
I thought you said by occasion. You not burned by occasion. But no, nothing burnt is... first of all, anything burnt don't taste good. So no one will like burnt food. It won't hit your palate properly if you're into quality food. So no one wants burnt food. Even something simple as your garlic being overcooked can bring a bitter taste to your meal. So we won't even get into that. Don't talk to me about cuisine. That's a whole different topic.
No, but
I'm just saying, let's not even go there.
When you smell it, wouldn't you be able to use, that smell?
If you overcook your garlic, you would
know
the garlic is overcooked. So that's why I just said we're not going to go into cuisine right now. We're gonna stay focused on where we are,
I understand.
Okay.
I'm just
So
saying
I'm serious about my cuisine.
signs come in so many
Okay.
different forms, you know, like
Right. I
it
accept
comes
that.
through the senses because like
Mm-hmm.
if you smelling something burning
Mm-hmm.
and you just ignore that sign, then that could be a
Some
horrible meal, or that could be a tragedy. You know, that could be a fire that consumes.
Well, we have to put
Yeah.
this disclaimer out. Some people don't have the sense of smell.
They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Really?
But you know, they got that smoke alarm.
Okay, they're gonna hear it, but not everything. Not that. If something is burning, with a smoke alarm got to go off, that's a whole different situation.
Yeah, I know.
So something could be overly cooked, charred, like they would say, and the smoke alarm doesn't have to go down, and it will still not taste good in your palate. So you see, you being dramatic.
All right, so you
want smoke alarm. You need
so
smoke
you heard
alarm.
that's what I'm saying. So
You
you
want
hear
smoke
it,
alarm.
you hear it. So what about when you hear somebody
I don't gotta hear. We could just taste it.
speaking something that just don't align with the actions? Do you ignore that sign? Cause you know you could speak and you could hear through things. And you can know that, you know, what the person is talking is not totally accurate, and you could ignore what you feel or what you know.
Who want to know? Someone that's not being honest with themselves? What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about being honest with yourself. I'm talking about being honest, period.
That at the end of the day, it's with yourself. Who you being honest with? You said period.
I mean, but if you know this person is not being honest, then are you being honest to yourself?
That's what I said. At the end of the day, it's about you.
Exactly. I agree.
So who you? I'm fooling you. Or I'm fooling me.
Well, that's the
If I know
thing.
you fooling me, I'm fooling me.
So you just ignore that.
Nobody's ignored it. Maybe the person is seeing how long you gonna take it. How long you gonna fool you? Who play who game?
I think that when you get to that point where you figure it out, you should at least, if not make a major action, you should at least start to raise questioning and, you know, just to be real with yourself. Because I mean, if
can
all
ask
y'all being fake, I don't think it's going nowhere.
If you can ask people whatever question was that you would ask them. They'll go right and divert it so they can feel like they're smarter than you. At the end of the day, you have to honor your beliefs and you have to honor yourself. Because the person that's trying to manipulate you, they already know they're manipulating you. So therefore, they think they're smarter with you from the jump. That's what manipulation is about. They think they're smarter than you. So they feed you what they think you want to hear. Now, there's gonna come a point in time where somebody's gonna have to lose.
Somebody have to lose you.
Absolutely.
That's pretty deep.
What do you mean that's pretty deep?
I mean, I'm saying it like this. I'm saying if a person says they love you, right? And
Love me how?
you know that's
What's love? There's different
and that's what I'm trying to say. And you know the standard of love, right? You know the signs.
No, it depends on how they love me.
No, you know the signs of love.
No,
maybe when you were younger, you got some of that love from your parents, or maybe you did. Maybe you got some of that love from
The love from my parents got nothing to do with how you loving me.
One of your people. But that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that. Do you ignore the signs because you
What
know
signs?
the standard of love that
No.
you recognize?
My standard of love recognized and where the person that at level they recognize have nothing to do with me. Now is the question is where they are is it acceptable to me? Now, if it's not acceptable to me, when I express myself, like, listen, where you are and where I am, it's not there, right? This is my level of love. This is how I see it. You may have never received it. You may have never seen it. You don't know what it looked like, and you may not even comprehend what I'm trying to say to you, right? Is either we could learn it together, or we don't understand each other. I can't make you see my level of love.
So you trying to tell me that if a person show you that they fake, or well, that'd be a sign, right? If they showed you that
What's fake?
they didn't love you,
What do you
like
mean
they
show
say
me?
they do. If they did that, if they showed you that they didn't love you like they say they do, would you just up and go the other way?
No, I'm gonna express to you and be like, listen, the way you articulate your love in your action doesn't add up.
Okay, that's fair.
I can only go by those. Besides what you say, I can only go by your actions.
That's fair. That's fair. So you give them the opportunity to correct themselves.
Listen, not everyone gets the opportunity for someone to articulate to them, this is what you're doing wrong. It's because that person care. Some people would just be like, what I'm seeing here is not to my standard, and they could just do what they decide. Once someone gives you the opportunity to articulate to you, listen, I appreciate you. This is what it is, and I don't see it. This is the opportunity for you to change it, but you should not expect that from anyone, because once someone 90% of the time show you how they feel is what it is, you can't change that, even if you really wanted to. When you go to a job, they tell you this is the annual salary for it, right? It's either when you're applying for the job, you accept the salary, even if you want to exceed the price, or they tell you this is the opportunity for it. That does not mean that's what you're gonna get until you go there and present yourself articulately why they should invest in you in that way. That's in anything we do. And everyone knows everyone value. When they appreciate someone, everyone tries to go around it until you know your value.
That makes a lot of sense to me. There's signs out there that say, beware, dog.
Beware of dog.
Yeah.
Park at your own risk. Your car will be towed at your expense. Stop.
Go.
Road is divided. That means you could be going down straight road, and somewhere in between there is a double road. Watch where it divides. So every sign is for a reason, like you said. The question is, do we honor it? Do we accept it for what it is? Do we try to change it?
I'm just saying.
Or do we think too much of it?
I'm saying. You know, we just saw that viral skit. You know, all that viral talk from Cat Williams, and you know, he kind of shook everything up, and he kind of put out there that, you know, these things will be exposed. So these things will be exposed, and I think the signs, the guidelines, is gonna be the things that help us to see the revealing of it all. Because if, you know, anything just went and anything goes, then that means that there's really no guidelines. You know, there's really no stop signs in the street to keep the traffic moving in sync. So, you know, it's a lot of accidents happen, but...
Well, there's a lot of stop signs. There's a lot of... People are rebellious. They want to do what they want.
They run them a lot, right?
Yeah. They overspeed. They do what they desire. So don't say there's no signs in the room. There's a lot of signs in life. I don't know. There's a reggae song that goes like that. There's a lot of signs in life. There's a lot of signs in life we may not like.
Right.
We may be here today, and the next minute we gone away. Hey, I don't know who I can't think of the singer right now.
That sings, yes.
Is that my baby?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. I didn't know that's my baby.
Yeah.
So you know that there's a song. There's a lot of signs in life we may not like. We may be here today, and next minute we're gone away. But we have to honor and respect it. Thank you for your musical intelligence.
Yeah, I try to keep it up.
Oh, it just popped up in my head, you know.
I say, yeah, them things are golden, you know, when they inspire the creative form. So big up to all the creators out there. But I just say, don't ignore the signs, because the signs are here. The signs are here to do so much. You know, it's here to move with us through our journey. Whether it's a sign to tell us to go, a sign to tell us to slow down, because...
But what if you're not listening to your heart and your emotions are overtaking? You got to be very careful when you say that.
I don't have to be careful. I'm speaking what I feel.
No, I'm just saying, because sometimes our emotions overtake what we feel.
Our emotions overtake what we feel in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the signs is there to keep our emotions in check. Because if you rushing to if you rushing to get somewhere because you feel like, oh man, I gotta be at that place and this is what I gotta do, but the sign clearly tells you that, you know, this is a one-way street and you can't turn up this street, and then you emotional, you like, this is the quickest route to get there, and then you turn up that street and then that car come flying down that one-way street at high speed. Then them emotions gonna be the thing that got you in a tragic situation.
Okay, I get what you just said though, but I had to realize that I was emotional and see myself on that one-way street to realize I'm about to crash. That's what I'm saying. You right. I did not have to get on that road, but I was so intertwined into the emotions of the experience what I was going through at the moment. I didn't know to step aside to be like, oh, let me take a minute to breathe. And I get caught up in that one-way street. I didn't want to get on that one-way street.
So maybe that could be the sign you get into that point in that state of high emotion.
But if you don't identify you in a high emotion, how do you know?
You start losing that focus. Maybe that is the sign for you to breathe.
But if I don't see it, how do I know to breathe?
But that's what this is for. That's what this broadcast right here is designed to do, is telling the people not to ignore the signs. Because
Voice your vision, showcase your spirit.